Why multinational SMEs are turning to EOR to reduce compliance risks. An EOR becomes a legal employer to your international workforce but retains day-to-day management control over your employees. Globalization has opened new doors for SMEs, allowing them to tap into international markets and extend their operations across borders. However, with global expansion comes a complex maze of legal, tax, and labor regulations that could be a challenge for SMEs to navigate. Ensuring conformity with the diverse and dynamic requirements of differing countries can be quite demanding, particularly for those businesses that lack the infrastructure and resources to handle these issues in-house. So, when it comes to compliance and risk management in the various aspects of global employment, the employer of record, EOR, comes to the rescue with simplified and cost-effective solutions. In this blog, we look at why more SMEs in multinational settings are migrating towards EOR services and how it helps them mitigate risks against compliance in light of globalization. The compliance challenge for SMEs. It does not mean that an SME will hire talent from the locality just by entering a new country and opening an office. The labor laws in each country differ, as do the tax regulations and the demands to employ, which start from the rules for the classification of workers to minimum wage laws, statutory benefits, and social security contributions. Failure to adhere to these regulations could incur heavy fines, legal wrangles, reputational losses, and, in extreme cases, the suspension of business operations. A multinational SME is at high risk of facing this risk as it has to meet not one but several different legal systems at a single point. Among the greatest compliance challenges affecting multinational SMEs include labor laws. Each country has its specific laws regarding the employment relationship, such as an employment contract, working hours per day, procedure for terminating an employee, and minimum wages. Failure to comply leads to court cases, legal action, disputes with employees, and penalties. Taxation and payroll. Many countries have different tax laws, so accurate payroll processing is a very important issue. Missteps in managing payroll taxes, social security contributions, and withholding obligations might lead to serious tax audits or even criminal charges. Misclassification of workers. The most common compliance mistakes include misclassifying workers as independent contractors. This results in payment of penalties, back wages, and a demand for benefits and rights owed to the misclassified workers. Employee benefits. The terms of employee benefits differ from country to country, but some countries insist on the majority of employee benefits, such as health insurance, retirement contributions, and leave. Pay ensures that local workers receive legally accepted benefits. Proper work visas and residence permits. Recruitment of foreign workers must be accompanied by proper work visas and residence permits. This procedure could be very complicated and time-consuming, and non-compliance in this area could result in legal troubles for both the employer and the employee. How EOR services address these challenges. An EOR becomes a legal employer to your international workforce but retains day-to-day management control over your employees. It leaves all the compliance functions like payroll, tax filings, and local labor law compliance to the EOR. This way, SMEs can scale up their business globally without getting obsessive about complicated regulatory requirements. Key ways EOR services reduce compliance risks. Local expertise. The employer of record services providers gains extraordinary insight into the country's local labor law and regulation. This means your company will be kept abreast of the latest compliance requirements, thereby avoiding the need for an in-house legal team or hiring an expensive outside counsel. Payroll and tax compliance. The most challenging part of an international expansion is payroll management across borders. With employer of record services, payroll will be processed, and all taxes, social security contributions, and withholdings will be completely compliant with local laws, thereby preventing mistakes that may result in penalties or audits. Accurate worker classification. An EOR simplifies costly misclassification errors by ensuring that all workers are classified according to local regulations, whether they are full-time employees, part-time workers, or contractors. Employee Benefits Administration. EORs administer employee benefits and ensure that your employees receive their statutory entitlements prescribed by the law. This frees your company from dealing with the complicated web of local benefits administration. The employees are taken care of in accordance with the benefits legislation in the country, thus reducing the chances of fights and litigation. Legal risk mitigation. An EOR acts as a shield, assuming legal responsibility in employee contracts, taxes, and compliance. This reduces the risk factor of lawsuits, fines, and penalties resulting from employment law violations. Efficient onboarding and offboarding. Employer of record services simplify hiring and terminating employees across borders. They take care of all the administrative and legal processes needed to onboard new hires and make employee exits compliant without exposing organizations to wrongful termination claims. Benefits beyond compliance. One of the primary reasons for using EOR services is to minimize risks for multinational SMEs, but this benefit goes far beyond risk mitigation. With an EOR, firms can realize the following advantages. Scale faster. The EOR takes care of employment's operational and legal dimension so that the business can focus on growth and soon enter new markets. Reduce costs. A multiple country operations SME without any requirement to form a legal entity and then appoint in-house HR and legal in each country reduces costs operationally. Simplify operations. Employer of record services centralize your entire international team management, making it easy for you to control the same operations from another country without getting drowned in administrative paperwork. Why multinational SMEs should choose Multiplier. The EOR partner selection should be a trustworthy, veteran provider who understands the complexities of global employment. In this regard, Multiplier stands out. Multiplier is a global employment platform that helps businesses manage compliance, payroll, and benefits for their international teams. With Multiplier, SMEs can onboard employees in more than 150 countries without having to set up local entities, providing endless compliance with local laws. Their platform features a streamlined, user-friendly interface that simplifies all aspects of managing anything from the full range of HR functions to payroll processing and benefits administration. Multiplier has developed an extensive network of legal and labor experts so that your company stays compliant no matter where you operate. Once you team up with Multiplier, you can then focus on growing the business while they worry about the heavy lifting over compliance, legal, and payroll. Learn more about how Multiplier EOR can help your business expand globally easily by visiting Multiplier EOR. Let's conclude. Global expansion is a huge opportunity for SMEs. However, it comes with a plethora of compliance challenges and problems that will hinder growth if not managed aptly. Employer of record services provide very practical solutions that reduce compliance risks for companies, yet allow them to manage their international workforce efficiently and do so across borders while remaining compliant. For today's international SME, who is likely looking to streamline operations and ensure compliance across borders, partnering with an EOR can be a very smart strategic move likely to drive sustainable growth in the increasingly interconnected world. Hence, opting for a reputable service provider such as Multiplier enables small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, to effectively address the complexities associated with their geographically diverse workforce. This, in turn, helps in mitigating compliance risks while focusing on the fundamental objective of expanding their global operations.